We are live. So we're inaugural Two Brothers podcast.
Nice.
Two Bros podcast coming to you. I wouldn't say live, but we'll edit this up. But
well, everything's like live at one point.
right, it happened. Which goes against quantum physics. Quantum physics says that it doesn't happen until you actually see it.
Wow, you're really gonna get into it, right? Really?
Well, we're gonna jump right into it. So, first and foremost, the inaugural. At some point, we're gonna have to hide all these labels and stuff because.
Well, hopefully, we'll get to the point where we will have to hide labels.
Yeah.
Right now, nobody gives a shit.
Right now, nobody gives a shit. It's just two bros. You know.
Two dudes. We're already splitting the myth because we're two black guys in Nassau County drinking Pabst Blue Ribbon. So
yeah,
we didn't choose Heineken or we didn't choose Corona. Maybe go the other way and maybe Coke 45.
Could have went that way. We did that before.
Yes.
We've had some Coke 45 here at my party. But we're coming to you with just our opinion on a few things. There may be a little less scientific data to back up what we're saying, but most importantly, we're just kicking it. And we got a few drinks, and it's a lovely Saturday afternoon. It's about 2:40. September's here.
Yeah, I know. It came up. We got no
September's
choice. We had. It's gonna be interesting. I think we're gonna have one of those Indian summers.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna have to because fucking summer didn't do anything. I think we had like 1 week of where it was like, because you usually get like maybe 3 weeks of just like oppressive heat. When it's just really hot, when it's really humid.
Yeah.
And and it times down from there. But we didn't have that this summer.
I mean,
like
it
here
depends,
and there.
right? It depends on, like, we went away, so we did a lot of going places, and different places had different weathers and stuff like
Right.
that. So we were fortunate enough to have a nice vacation season, which was good. Visited some crazy islands and stuff, and cruising. So as far as it being hot, like, summer doesn't bother me. Summer really doesn't bother me because you can take off, you can throw a
Right.
fan. You can
Right.
that cold, wet, snow and rain and all that other stuff. Actually, winter doesn't bother me either. It's just the elements.
Cold. I don't mind being cold.
Yeah.
I don't mind being wet.
Yeah.
I don't want to be cold and wet. That's
At the same time.
I don't want those things.
Yeah, I kind of agree. With that. That's not a good combination. But in most, I don't want to say in most. Well, for people that live in New York, that's what you bargain for, right? I mean, New York is New York.
That's what it is. You want seasons. I mean,
Yeah.
I know people who live like out in like San Diego.
Yeah.
And Los
San Diego's
Angeles,
a nice town.
and they love it.
Yeah.
But they also they want seasons. They said they would love
Yeah.
to have like a change. They would love, and it sounds weird to us because we're like, oh, what? So 82 and mild pisses you off, But they say no. I would like foliage to change and that maybe some cold air to come in and change your style of clothes.
Listen, I could see where that it comes in handy, and I guess if you didn't live here all your life, it probably is a little different. Some people get used to it, which is regular.
Right.
And then people that move here, what do they call them, expats or something like that?
I have no idea what they call them.
People move in from different places and live somewhere else.
If you live in a warm climate like Southern California or New Mexico, but you own like a lot of plaid, does that make you an asshole? Like, are you just one of those like ironic people that you're trying to like effectuate some sort of ideology?
No, it makes you a hipster. A fucking douchebag hipster. That is the term that is commonly being. The weird part is that it's the same classification for it all, right?
Right. What are you doing here?
I'm going there. It's plaid. It's the fedora.
Let me know when I'm stopping.
You're good.
No.
It's plaid, a fedora.
Okay.
And the mentality of those. I guess that class. I mean, I hate the class people, but everything's a class. But they're all just anti everything. Like any kind of establishment, they're anti. They just I'm anti this. Oh, we think we should have kindergarten classes. Oh, we're anti kindergarten. We're anti everything that you come up with. These people somehow have anti against it. And I'm not saying it's right, wrong, or indifferent. I'm just saying that all right already. Like I think we've all just gotten a little too sensitive with everything. You know, safe space. What is this? Safe space? Bullying and all this other stuff. And everybody wants to have their everybody wants their wish for their piece, like their own. They want to be recognized somehow. And I think, do you think it's because of social media? You think it's?
Well, I think it's because of a lot of things. I think what happens is, well, right now what we have is like the generation below us is the first generation that I think it's like the first generation that kind of like grew up with like things like Facebook and stuff, and so which that was a pervasive form of like how they, you know, communicate.
Right.
And so it's easy to take that platform and to segregate ideas to where, you know, the only thing you can hear or engage with are people who agree with you and people who love your pictures and love your ideas and everything. And you know, if you don't feel good, you put up something and then you get a couple likes and then you're starting to feel good about yourself and stuff. You know, there's actually there's actually a study that says that feeling you get when you see somebody that has liked your picture, it gives you the same dopamine response as
chemically.
Yes, it gives you the same dopamine response as if you've enjoying yourself with friends or like you having a sip of alcohol or something like that. Okay. So in other words, it can become addictive.
So this has a biological reaction.
Yes.
There's some sort of chemical in your body, like you said, endorphins or some sort of adrenaline,
you get a rush out of it, and it makes you feel good. And so
I can see that.
When you feel bad,
I can see that.
You know, you go and do something. Let me put this up, and then you want to see some likes and stuff like that. This is starting to make you feel better, and you become addicted to that.
I can see where people go really extra for the likes. I mean, they go a little out of the way to make somebody like something.
Right. But then you project that to. You go off to college, or then you go into the workplace. Yeah. Where, you know, there's a vast majority of people who really don't give a shit about your opinion. Correct. And may think you're kind of fucking stupid. Right.
Kind of shallow. Kind of, you know. I think it's pretty shallow.
You get confronted with that, and then all of a sudden you don't know how to deal with that because you've never had to, you know, confront with that.
No, that's a real valid point because, I mean, you're talking about kids killing themselves over social media stuff and over being taunted and made fun of and so that's kind of like really dangerous. And I think the subhuman factor of it is really what people got to get a grip on. Is like for instance, you'll say to somebody, "Oh, I talked to so and so yesterday." You did? You spoke to him? No, we text. Well, that's it. Fucking talking to someone. Oh, I text him, but in the reality of it is, you know, when the person re-asks you, did you speak to someone? Have you talked? In your head, you're thinking, yes, I did speak to them, but in reality, you didn't actually speak to them. So there is something there is something about the voice, someone's, you know, you hearing somebody. Fucking birthday. I mean, shit. Call somebody and just say, "Hey, man, you know, thinking about you, happy birthday, etc."
We're all guilty of that.
Well,
we're all guilty of that to an extent. Like it's easy to shoot, just say, "Hey, happy birthday" and stuff like that. You know, rather than to call and say, because you know why? Because I think another thing that we're all afraid of is calamar. We're afraid of We're also afraid of rejection. And so
valid point.
By engage, like, you know, for me to engage in you, you can reject that.
Right.
You know, if I call you to speak to you, well, you cannot answer the phone, or you cannot be available to speak. And then now, now I have to deal with a certain level of rejection. Right. You know,
so you're saying with a text or with some sort of
with a text, you didn't answer my text. I extended myself to you, and you didn't do that. But if you don't pick up the phone, well, there was no way for me to acknowledge that, hey, I did some action.
So you couldn't get it off. You couldn't,
I couldn't put it off. Right. Even if I'm just doing it to just, okay, I'll just call him to say happy birthday. I really don't give a shit about his birthday, but I'm gonna call to say, so that I can say I said happy birthday.
Yeah, well, you could. Yeah, I think you're right. There's something to be said about that, but I don't know. I think everybody's a little fucking sensitive way too sensitive for
Yeah.
issues. And please jump in if you want.
Oh, calamar.
Yeah.
Calamar.
And which
The rom-com
the
guys.
rom-com,
The rom-com guys.
romantic comedies.
Romantic comedy guys. Like that guy we met in that bar.
Yeah. Oh,
He was a rom-com guy.
we had the roommate or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, he was total.
That was a rom-com guy. That was the
rom-com.
safe
Yeah.
beta male to have around. Yeah.
That guy was a douchebag hipster. No, for sure. You know why? He said, what he said? He was totally thinking that the end of the world was possible.
Right.
Because of we're having too many people. Like
Right.
we just. Now, this is a guy that if he had the power, could be dangerous.
Absolutely.
This is fucking dangerous. Like okay, there's too many people keep having kids. Okay, he would adopt or whatever, which is great, good for you. But fuck, man, like like he made it like apocalyptic
Right.
at a bar. Like, you know what I'm saying? We're at a bar and he made it apocalyptic.
Right.
Like, oh, it's just no end to it. And so when you asked him, so when?
Right. At what point? Right. At what point does it become? Do we become totally nihilistic?
Right.
Because if you're because he was calling himself a nihilist, and I said, well, if you're a nihilist, you think that there's no meaning in anything.
What does that mean? A
A
nihilist?
nihilist. You think everything we're all
Final.
gonna die, and so there's no point in any of this crap. So I'm like, okay, so if you believe that, then why are you here in this bar enjoying yourself with your friend?
Right.
You met us, and so we're having a great conversation.
Totally
and stuff like that.
unexpected. It was random.
We're enjoying ourselves. So then, how is this not? How is this?
This isn't doomsday.
Right. He's like, no, I'm enjoying myself. Okay, so then at what point does it become to the point where we can't take anymore? And you
Well,
can't
that's a
answer
fucking suicidal fucking mentality, man. I mean for him to be out and about at a bar, I don't think he was fucking suicidal. Like, I think he was a poser. You know what I'm
You're
saying?
right. You can't have it both ways.
You can't have it both
He
ways.
wants to have an opinion,
Right.
and it's quite possible that he can't sustain.
Maybe he just doesn't have the audience.
He can't sustain his own opinion, so he hops on something else.
I think it's very possible that he just doesn't have the audience. Like, he just doesn't have the crowd to listen to him. So he becomes a seeker of the attention, and this is like a party trick. This is the lampshade on the head.
He has to. If he's who we think he is, then he has to somehow. He can't compete.
Right.
Which is why he's chosen that little niche where he can walk around with this fine British woman and then say, "Oh, I have no interest in her." I'm like, come on. Remember when I asked him? I said, "Okay, look,
Yeah.
you guys have had a few. You had a great night. It's 1:30 in the morning. You're heading home. How about it?
Sounds like it's gonna go for it.
20 minutes of your time ain't working." He said, "Nope, never do it. We'll
Never do it."
I'm like, oh.
Not even in the apocalypse. Not even
Exactly.
At
Not
the
even right. Like, this is it.
The
The world depends on you.
Great movie, by the way.
Which one?
This is it. Wasn't that?
The one with Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
I saw that. That was hilarious.
With all the guys, all the stars and stuff, and yeah, man, that's cool. Like, I don't know, people just have to get their shit together, or not. Like that, I think we're putting too much pressure on everybody to have an opinion, or we're
okay.
I think we're just everybody's. Like, my opinion really doesn't matter. It's just an opinion, and if you're in the audience and you listen, it's here today, gone tomorrow. Like, while I think people care, I think they care only for the moment that they hear it. I don't think they care beyond.
Right.
I don't think people go and, well, Chad said we should do this. I'm changing my life, and I'm gonna now wear blue. Whatever. So I don't think people care that much. They care for the moment of the conversation. When it happens, because they have to then arm themselves with a response.
Mm-hmm.
Especially at a social event like a bar, pub, or people just out and about talking. So maybe that's what it is. But I don't think people just change their life on someone's opinion. Oh, what? Damn, who said it?